Okay. Welcome. My name is OBENG DARKO. Welcome today. Join us. Join us. Abusafo. Yes, yeah. Akwaba. It's another Saturday. Live from Accra, Ghana. My name is OBENG DARKO. It's Saturday, and thank you for taking your time to join us. Thank you for taking your time to join us. Chaze, Akwaba. Akwaba. Yeah, shows that way. We'll be our own journey here, so with me, I share on some other platforms so people can join us. Sam, Sa, Akwaba, Awa, Akwaba, Hussein, Akwaba, with my journey here, our journey today is knowledge, business, and financial security. Business. So we say any year. So join us, share on other platforms. Hey, Cosmos, Abusia, Akwawa, Ayiba, thank you for joining us. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, so you can share. Let others join us. Thank you for the support. Thank you for those who, always take time to join us. It's a good thing to know that we are all learning together. And I go this obviously idea. Growth means system. Yes, it's here because no one be bro ha sabi. Anything growth be more because you been say knowledge in any our classroom to we school na so kuta certificate or just that one. So classroom there o there no bobra e besisi. Tira crash for no. So mama tie the they call classroom akonya certificate. Ubetie the the bobra. So that's it. We tie the bobra. The bit mama winning. There's one for the classroom, which is okay, and there's another knowledge for life. And here we share the ones that you can build. There are things that they don't teach you in school, and those are the very things that we learn on this platform. Those are the very things that we have put in our books, Unlimited Opportunities. If you don't have any copy, get a copy. Resilience, these are things, what we teach are not the things that you find in classroom. Classroom is for certificate, here is for life. How to develop courage to start and build your business or to fight as an entrepreneur. And this is what is it? Streamline. Teach yourself money. Teach says in school no how much school. But information here also they will teach you there. And then there's another one, boldness to fight life. You can't get that from classroom. The other one is integrity, honesty. They will not teach that to one in school. And you as an African, the other one is how to know more than what the Europeans have like. The lies, beyond the lies, the consciousness as an African. Because until something happened to the Africans and until that one is restored, it's very difficult for you to have an African who can develop holistically and who can be dependent on and who is selfless and interested in helping his people to develop. Until the consciousness of the African is restored, it is very difficult for you to trust and depend on that African. And sadly, what they teach us in school is designed to take away that consciousness. That's why you see many of our people who have gone to every certificate they have, but they are not able to stand for their own people. They stand for those who train them, but not the development of their own people. So African advantage. You can be successful in Africa. What you need is knowledge, and that's the knowledge that we want to talk about today. Odishaba, busia penny, money in our home. That's it. One man, one touch. It's sanity. This is perspective. This is perspective. It's if you say it's a good book, we have sold a lot, thousands of copies, and we have given a lot to people as well. People talk about this book in particular. That was our Facebook that we wrote. So welcome today to the class. Samson and Bernard, thank you. for joining us. Thank you for joining us. So share the channel so others can join. If you come here, you are repairing your mind as an African. If you come here, you're restructuring your mind. You are rejuvenating your mind. You are restoring your memory. You know, if you come here, and the moment you're able to restore the wealth or the information that you need to restore yourself as an African, nothing will stop you from becoming successful. Nothing will stop you from becoming successful. Imagine just a circle, and the core, the middle of the circle. If they attack that, everything it can diffuse and destroy everything. But if that middle, the inner, is restored, everything else can be restored. So when you correct, when the African starts to believe in who they are, they start to know who they are. That is it. Everything else can be restored. So yes, thank you. Neuroplasticity. Yes. Ata Johnny and Ofre now how much Johnny, let's see, my fire you. Oh, yeah, we cry now Ofre. So and today when we open the lights, you can share with us the business that you do as well. We would want to hear the business that people are doing. Can be before the things that you do. So what on a normal, so what is school, what be a hospital, what be a university, what be a bank, what be a piano. When you come share with us the things that you have learned also from here, the things that you do. We would want to know the steps that we all are taking. So today we want to talk about knowledge. Knowledge, they say. This one is knowledge for business and knowledge for financial security. Every economy BM, there are things that they do. Economy BM. Now, I think that the Africa that we have, the way we do our things, and the way we've been trained, and the way the world treats us, and the way, especially the world as in the world of the West, because they lead the world, the way they treat us, the way they have painted us, if you want, the way they have promoted themselves, and the way the institutions that they have built run. Some of you read books and you're always quoting all the American. Anytime that I'm listening to some of these things, all the great examples, they are all white male Americans. Sometimes I become sad because they mention all these great business people, innovators, entrepreneurs, and they are all Americans. They are all white. They are from Australia. They are from England. They are from Canada. They will go and mention one person from China somewhere. There's from Japan somewhere, but 99% is from America. And they are all white men. And somebody says in Ghana here, he listens to a lot of those things. He reads a lot of those books. He watches a lot of movies based on their ideology. And, they also start to teach us the same kind of thing. I feel a bit, you can learn from them, but much you can just learn to, pump yourself and become knowledgeable. You will talk, but to practice it, the infrastructure that, the infrastructure that they have built that support them, we don't have the same kind of infrastructure here. And that is why it is very difficult for you to holistically apply, the things that they teach there in any phase, whether it's education, whether it's entertainment, whether it's business, real estate, for you to become successful here. And that's why if you pay attention well, even those of us who have gone to school somewhere, when we come here, if you want to practice what they taught you, you fail because every environment and what works. And when I talk of knowledge, I'm talking of the knowledge that you need as an African to be successful. If you're from Ghana, to be successful here. Because I've been in Africa, if you go to Nigeria, you go to Benin, we all think just about the same way. If you go to Togo, it's just about the same. A few things may change, but the same way that we see ourselves, the same system, the same infrastructure, the same technology, the same religious beliefs, the same, errors that they teach in school, they teach the same across the continent. And the same kind of history, they start from 1957 when they were, and they start from when slavery and colonization came. So basically, we are conditioned with the same setting. And we deal with the same cultural tendencies, and we are actually the same people, so the kind of knowledge that you need as an African to be successful in your own country, is very much different from the knowledge that you need. Even if you're an African and live in those countries, the barriers that you meet, the difficulties that you meet all the time, the challenges that you meet there, because if you are white male, it's different. One thing about a lot of these guys is that your success, even Ghana, that now they are very happy that Ghana is struggling. If Ghana starts to do well, they become threatened. They feel threatened. The West, particularly the Abrofo, will be ye pen or will be ye ya or China for ye Abrofo, India for statistics, Ghana, Nigeria, statistics, shower services here. So there's a kind of knowledge that you need so that you are aware of the world that you live in and your environment, and once you're aware of that, no matter the challenges, no matter the difficulties, you will be successful. You'll be successful. So you need this kind of knowledge because that is what we use. And when you have the right knowledge, fear is purged out of your system. You don't become afraid and you don't become hopeless when you have the right knowledge. You start to believe in yourself, and you know that, and you start to understand the systems and the structures, the environment, the cultures, the processes that run your community, the world. You start to understand them. The proper knowledge, you will know. You are not naive. You will know. You understand people. You understand money. You understand how a business is built. Knowledge is key. Now, if there is anything that Africans need more than any other thing, is knowledge. Is knowledge. And sometimes it's very hard because many of us have replaced that required knowledge. The knowledge that they are using to produce electricity, the knowledge that they are using to produce all the technologies that these guys are producing. We as a culture, we need to adapt them, or we need to have our own knowledge that will also help us to produce, especially scientific, technological, productive knowledge. Not moral knowledge, because many times when you hear people talk to any young person, any child, we give them social knowledge. We give them cultural, advice, moral advice. Today we want to talk about productive knowledge. We want to talk about financial knowledge, business knowledge, technology. Those things that we lack, those things that will help us to manage our resources well, those things that will help us to manage the things that we have to manage, so that the poverty and the other things that we are not so much happy with can reduce. That kind of knowledge, I personally believe that intentionally, some people made sure that a lot of our people will not have access to that. That's why it was illegal for them to educate or let any slave read. It was illegal for them to read, even if somebody wanted to teach somebody to read, that was illegal, because they know that if you can only free a man, it is very difficult for you to keep a man in bondage when the man has knowledge. So the very thing that they are preventing from a lot of our people, it's not the classroom knowledge that they are teaching you. It's not the sociology, the psychology, the chemistry, the physics. That one, the one they taught you so that you can go and get a job. We are talking of the knowledge that will build a country, that will build your finances, that will make you strong as a people. That kind of knowledge, I think that from the very first principles, they did not put a lot of them, especially the one that the white man said that he brought. The one that we had, they made sure that we will not continue to teach our people. So now they are fading out. And the one that they brought is not the right one. That's why we are not able to build anything with it, And many of our people with book and pen writing, if you take the job from the government that they have, if you take the employment, the pay that they have, many of them cannot build anything for themselves. Why? Because the knowledge that they gave them, you can build with it, And so knowledge is the foundation for any change that you want to see. Knowledge is the foundation for any change that you want to see. The BR person who's you're supposed to see any progress in any people, the first you need there is knowledge. Now, unfortunately, many of our people, those who are Islamic and Christians, they think that the answer to everything is prayer. That is another lie that they told us. They are not praying. They are doing research. They are always updating their knowledge, upgrading their people. And they told the Africans, whether it's Islam or Christianity, God answers everything, so they just pray. So many of us, when we talk about progress and development and solutions and problem solving, we think that the only key is prayer. And I know a lot of my friends will come and say that, you can't rule prayer out. We are talking of something that will develop a people, the finances of a people, a country. Prayer is not part of it. If in your religious endeavor, pray. But to sweep a country and educate the people to be bold, to take care of your hospital, your education, your financial sector, your productivity, build the factories, prayer is not part. And it's very difficult because then we tend to use the religion in every field. And a lot of our people who have taught us, the people that when we were growing up, we look up to, these are the things that they have taught us. So now that you are 40 years, it's very difficult for you to accept that it's not part of it. It's almost impossible because then they said that, Jesus said that pray without ceasing. So but he didn't say that pray so that you can build a laptop. Pray that you can build a factory. Pray that you can build a telephone. Pray that you can create employment. No. It's knowledge. For lack of knowledge, people perish. That one. So I tell you, the very thing that they make sure that our people will not have access to is the relevant knowledge. It is the knowledge that the people need so that they can develop by themselves without anybody giving them help. The knowledge that they need. And so when you talk of knowledge, you see, when you have the right education is very constructive, it's intentional. When you have been taught, when you have been given tools of education, when you have any access to any information, you'll be able to sieve the one that you need and the one that you don't need. Then the one that you need stays with you. That becomes your knowledge. And that knowledge, when you start to practice it, it becomes your intelligence, your insight. See, so you have to be equipped, you have to be trained, you have to be educated so that you can separate the chaffs from the right thing. Now, many of our people are not educated to see what is right and what is not right. So the very knowledge that they need to build their lives, they don't know because the tools were not given to them. So the proper education, life education, to be able to handle your finance, your business, majority of our people have no clue. And when the people have no clue what to do, they resort back to the Creator himself. So our protection is in the hands of the Creator. Our development is in the hands of the Creator. Everything is. Because when God gave us brains, just about the time that I was about to come here, I watched a video, just a short clip. There's this young boy. He didn't have the whole hand. So he was born with short arm. Then I saw that somebody designed the arm and fixed it. And the boy was able to clap with it. He had the other one. But somebody was able to design it. The other one, which he didn't, he was not born with it. So he doesn't have the full arm. Somebody was able to create it, fix it there. And the boy was able to ride bicycle and clap with it. That is why God gave us brains. God gave us brains so that we can continue creation. Somebody said that we should go back to him for the creation. When you want to always conquer a people, you make them ignorant. So without proper education, you will not see which knowledge is important to you. Without proper education, you will not see which knowledge is important to you. And for you to build finances, build business, because you are going to go there. We are going to talk about how you can pick a small idea and build something with it. Your ability to separate information and keep some will depend on the kind of education that you've been given. And so if the education you've been given is wrong, then you can separate. You don't know which one is right, which one is not right. And so we need proper knowledge. So the more you know, the better you do in life. Don't expect much from people if you don't know much. The only reason you can require much from people is when they've been trained with much. There's nothing that is going to change until there is knowledge. The human being was created to operate with knowledge. That is illumination, is light. They say that knowledge is power. So when the people don't have knowledge, they don't have power. And without knowledge, they say the people will perish. So you see, knowing the ability, knowing, understanding the things that are around you, becoming aware, knowing how a business is created, knowing how a business is built. You cannot develop without knowledge. And you must know that you are responsible for the development of that knowledge. Nobody is going to develop that for you. So when you get any leader who is so much serious to develop our people, you must know that that leader will be committed to renewing the knowledge level of these people. The people cannot operate at the same level and expect different results. It's never true. And that's why you have to expose them to better quality knowledge. Then you can change them. So that's why somebody can come here and listen or read our books, hear something that we say. And he says that, no, my life changed. Why? Because then he was exposed to power. He was exposed to light. And that light, you can work with it. So you cannot take care of your resources, the blessings that the Almighty has given you, if you don't have the required knowledge. That's why they said that we found lithium somewhere, and they have given to some people for 50 years. And they say people are looking for financial freedom. The same people are saying that we will develop. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today we're talking about knowledge. And we're saying there is power. So you continue to struggle financially because your financial knowledge is weak. Your business is going to struggle because your business knowledge is weak. You're going to struggle maybe in your spiritual life because your spiritual knowledge is weak. Wherever that you are struggling in life, check your knowledge level there. Maybe you have health issues. It's because the knowledge there is weak. If you have the right knowledge, you'll be able to make quality decisions and choices. Then your life will start to change. So knowledge is power. It is at the foundation for any change. And knowledge is responsible for growth and development. Knowledge is responsible for growth and development. If you want to bring any growth to any people, expose them to knowledge. That one they should have told us. And that's another thing. They call it research and development. What they are trying? They are trying to find something so that they can make better decisions. Knowledge is light. Knowledge is power. Information that comes to you, the ones that stay with you, will be your knowledge. And the insight is when you start to practice. So knowledge acquisition is continuous life process. You don't get to a point where you say that I'm okay, I know everything. No, it's continuous learning. And that is why you develop in knowledge. You learn, you practice, you learn, you practice, you learn, you practice, you learn, you practice. And that is something that our people must understand. It's a basic, fundamental understanding of life. That if you want progress, if you want development, if you want to do well, you need to bring enlightenment to the people. So if you watch our TV, if you watch our social media, pay attention to the things that we are continually bombarded with. You see that the people's knowledge is carved as a particular level. We think life is comedy, life is joke. Maybe the little serious among them is marriage and sex. And then you hear about politics and religion. And then you hear about entertainment and sports. Where is science? Where is industry? Where is productivity? Where is knowledge? Where is personal development? Where is system? Where is critical thinking? So the more you don't hear those, the more you're producing a people who wallow in darkness. So somebody will just call some people from their private conversations, and then that is what the people continue to listen to. And I made Kofa Bema and Michiana Bontaine or Neme Koda Yen and Yawo Yen was one, constantly. That is what they are bombarding our people with. So how are you going to develop? How are you going to build industries? How are you going to build technology, software? So the more our people continue to hear these things, the more poverty and backwardness we create. And so the more a lot of our people understand that the knowledge in the atmosphere, the information that our people are producing, if you measure the quality of that information, then you should not be shocked tomorrow that our country is where it is. Because we think that when we discuss politics and entertainment, discuss politics and election and MPP, NDC, we think that once we discuss those things, it means that we are developing. That is a people who are not going anywhere. Discussing politics. You see, the world there, if you look at the West, they screwed everybody and gathered a lot of resources. And that gave them a big start. And they continue to screw everybody. Now, if Ghana, Nigeria, you are not going to pick Ghana and go and shoot somebody and take their resources. Your only advantage is for you to go for higher knowledge for many of your people so that you can develop. Now, those who are being fought by everybody, they are the ones who are also exposed to very trivial, unproductive knowledge. But as individuals, you need to pay attention to the very things that you are paying attention to. Because it is either you are going to be average and poor all your life, or you are going to be prosperous. You are going to own businesses, investments, live to the best of your ability by the things that you expose yourself to. So knowledge is key. These are the things that those who are able to do great things in life constantly expose themselves to. That's why they do well. And the other ones who are exposed to, a lot of people. So look at our heroes. Watch TV and look at the things, the people, and listen. Tomorrow morning, tune to any radio and listen to the things that they're teaching. And ask yourself, where can this thing that they are constantly saying on this radio station, this TV station, where can these things take us? We hear somebody's story and their marriage. We hear somebody's story. The world is run on principles, on laws, on structures, on systems, on discoveries. The world, those who are going to space, the technology for space, those things, those who are producing more, the things that they are constantly learning and challenging themselves with, those who are waiting for them to produce, they are playing chaskele constantly. So if you see any young man, sometimes I wonder, so what do these people think about all the time? We share, especially TikTok. We say, so are these people young or old? What is their worry? But the people can operate from the level of knowledge that they are exposed to. It's not because that is what they want to do for likes. No, it's not likes. It is what they know. That is the level of their operation. And there's one thing that you can become successful by sacrificing everybody, and there's another thing that you can help people to help themselves and take care of themselves and fight. The best of our people, they screw the people to become, a celebrity, poison them with all kind of songs. Then they get money and go and give some small somewhere to some charity somewhere. And it says that we should craft for them. And there are others who put everybody together and collect a lot of money from them. And once in a while, they give some money. We want to raise the people, not to give them money, but for them to have knowledge. And once they have knowledge, they have power and they can build with it. And they can build with it so that you start to have confidence in your abilities. You have to have confidence in yourself and you can understand your environment, how things are done, how things are operated in our country so that you can build something. If you want to build a business, now let's go. If you want to build a business in Ghana, there are stages. There are businesses that are doing, let's say, from 0 to 10,000 a year. There are businesses that can do 10,000 to, let's say, 100,000 a year. There are businesses that can do, let's say, 100,000 to 1 million a year. You know the category. There are those who can do, let's say, 1 million to 10 million a year. There are those who can do, let's say, 10 million to 100 million a year. Many of the things that I'm going to talk about, they are from 0 to, let's say, 1 million or, let's say, 100 million a year. Many people who are able to cross 100 million Ghana cedi revenue a year. Watch this. Many of them will come from the financial sector. They own banks and quick loans and those things like that because they have access to people's money. They collect them, and some of them they can use them and chop. That's why many of them, a lot of businesses that have had trouble in our country have come from those sectors. The other one will be those who are working major government projects because they have political connections. They do a lot of things beyond the 100 million cedi a year kind of business, and the other ones will be maybe the politicians and some other people own churches, but majority of us who will not have access to a lot of these things, and nobody, you don't have any uncle, any brother anywhere who is going to give you extra income, extra money, and you don't have any investor from America or from England or from Tokyo or from China or from Kenya. You don't have any investor, and you have to build yourself. Those kind of people, I'm saying that you need a lot of knowledge. You need a lot of confidence in yourself. You need a lot of resilience. And you don't need to be shy to start from anything. You can start. Any idea that people will pay you. Look at our environment. If you want to create financial security, it is not in pay. It is not in pay. Salary is not part of it. If you want to create wealth in our country, salary is not part of it. Salary is for you to eat, high place, and get your children to school. Now, if that is the obsession, that is okay. But if you want to create millions without becoming a thief, and you have no help from anywhere, you should be ready to start with anything that people need. So you can sell water, you can sell gari, you can sell granite, MTN mobile money. You can sell anything to start it. Now, the moment you start a business, the word shifts. A lot of things break in your head. When you have not started any business, you have not paid any salary, you have not given anybody money for any service that they have rendered to you, you don't have trouble. The moment you start that business, you open that provision shop and you give it to that girl to take care of you, you start to think, where am I going to get the supplies? How about if they steal the money? Tomorrow, if you don't know, GRA will come there with chains. AMA will come there with chains. The street, something will come there with chains. Now, you very nice gentleman, you didn't have problem. The moment you start that business, you have created 1,001 problems for yourself. And so your mind will start to work. Your mind must start to work. And the moment your mind starts to work, you start to solve problems. And the money that is coming to you, if you have the right financial knowledge, you have started on a path to become financially secure. That is the kind of, in the countries that they have created a lot of jobs, because they know that for you to have financial security is business and investment. They know. And so they have made it such that a lot of people will never look at that. They will just get salary, they will give you loan to buy a car, house, then you are fine. But for you to go into the hundreds of millions, for you to go into the millions, you need to start a business. You need to think differently. And I'm saying that kind of knowledge that they don't give to you in school is the knowledge that will make you prosperous in life, that will make you free. And they know that the moment you become free, they can control you. And there is no greater freedom than financial freedom. And that is why they are making sure that many of the people will not have access to the information that will help them to build their own financial freedom. And many of them will not be able to have information that will help them to build businesses and build investment and create wealth. So that's why you went to school, you want to do chemistry. They know that the chemistry or the molecules and all those things that you are learning, they don't mean anything. You are going to look for a job. That's why they taught you all these things in the in medical science. They taught you how to cut, intestines and those things like that. And they know that your freedom will not come from you when they teach you which one is blood A or O. They know that your freedom is not going to come from there. They know that when they teach you Fourier series, it's not going to bring you freedom. They know it. The freedom are the things that they didn't teach you in school. Financial knowledge, how to pick a business and turn it into, how to pick an idea and turn it into a business, how to build investment. Because they know that once you have those, if you're able to pick an idea and build it in a business, you are financially going to be free. They know that you're financially going to be free. And they don't want many people to go to become free. Those economists, as a matter of fact, they use slaves as the foundation of their wealth. And so a lot of the things that they have built, they built them from that bias. And they know that when the people are free, you can't control their time, you can't control what they eat, and you can't even control what enters their mind. So the moment they want to control, the slave, you don't need to give a slave. The slave does not have access to money. The slave does not have access to knowledge. The slave does not control his time. And they created that. They said that is an employment. And they gave you title and they call you manager. They call you manager and you're happy. But financial freedom, security, is in being able to pick an idea and turn it into a business. And that's why they told you that you don't want to believe that, everybody can become a businessman. You did it. Who told you that everybody cannot become a businessman? Everybody can become a businessman. If they told you that everybody cannot own something, they are lying to you. You can own something because that is where your freedom is. And you don't need to become a thief to build that. You don't need to take what belongs to the country to be financially free. You don't need to screw people and lie to be financially free. What you need is the proper financial knowledge. And once you have that knowledge, which is power, that knowledge will quicken something in you. It starts to take you on a particular path that eventually you will be free. And that is why they have sieved that kind of knowledge. That's why your child in that school that you say you're giving that child a very good education, they are lying to you. Very good education is the education that will make your child free. It's not English. It is not all those things that they are teaching you. They will speak English, they will do math. But proper education will bring freedom. Freedom over your time. Financial freedom. You don't have to get to work. You don't have to get up to go to that work if you don't want to, because then you have access. You control. You can pay your electricity. You can pay your rent. You can pay for the car because you have money. That information they will not readily give to you. They will give you salary. So that's why somebody can get 100,000 a year 200,000 a year, and that person will still be poor, because the knowledge to be financially free does not come just because of how much you are paid. It is how much comes to you, and it is what you do with the one that has come to you. And that ability to make right decisions over time to be financially free, that kind of knowledge, I'm saying that they will not teach you. They won't. If they teach you, everybody will stop working. And so you have to go. And so you have to know that knowledge for freedom, for your financial security, for you to build that business, you must find it. The MBA, you think, but your friend who did the MBA, does he have a business? You think that knowledge is an MBA? No. They train you, they give you MBA education so that you can go to you can get a job and get a little increase in salary. The knowledge that I'm talking about is your ability to have 100 cedis and turn that 100 cedis, build something with that 100 cedis that will continue to bring you money. And when you do that over time, you become free. So that if nobody gives you salary, you're free forever. That kind of information, that kind of discipline, every one of us can build it. So when they tell you that there are no opportunities in Ghana, it's because of lack of knowledge. It is not because there are no opportunities in Ghana. If you have a listening ear and you are willing to turn your life around, you're a young man, we are brandy, we need beer, we need mommy, we need papa. We person Tony and Cardi, you be Tony and Cardi. We join to we be Timako Fanka, no was in a brandy, and you may be an auto, and you may be out the open 50 cities, 100 cities. If you make the right financial decisions, give yourself 12 months. And Kana water no hono, bit my raise 1,000 cities or bit my raise 2,000 cities or so 2,000 cities. There's one fan could equal as one fan copema. Now, where's Ganuzi? Next I was and why the shop. Now, what they Ancanas or on a make, what on in those. Oh, here's Ganuzi, no one finding some phone, which I was another business in the mobile. Which I know for Nipamians and Nipamino, and so then I'll start here now on the Ankao tables. The difference between the Otoni and Ankao tables and the Otimia Yekesia is because of knowledge. The knowledge that is available to the boy who is selling kelewele or who is selling something on his head. The money that came to him, the decisions that he made with that money. That is the difference. That is the difference. The decisions, how they manage that money. Oh, Bobo, I know I do 20,000 now. They cut all cars. I want to be fat road robi. Into our form. Oh, Bobo, I know I won't get a car. The cut assassin. Into our form. We are now cut all the quarry. Oh, no, 50,000 wedding. We are no. Wouldn't be beer this kaba apart from pain. That is why you struggle. So every one of us can create that financial security. Every one of us can create that financial security. It is not difficult. It's not far-fetched. It is not because Ghana is difficult. No, it is in your financial intelligence. It is in your financial knowledge. And that knowledge, if you have it, you'll be able to build anything that you're giving. You can build your business. You can build your finances with the right knowledge. You have to accept that, or you have to know that that knowledge, you didn't come with it. And it's likely that your parents didn't have money. And it's likely that your teacher did not teach you that. And it's likely that the church that you go to, that they are saying that God will give you supernatural idea, they didn't teach you this basis. It's like you have a house, You have a house, or somebody, there's a building somewhere. And if there's a problem and there's a crack there, you don't use prayer to correct that. You go and bring somebody who understands that and correct that. You bring a missing. The same way. If your finances are not doing well, it is not any demon. It is no demon. So the moment if you don't correct that idea that my finances are not doing well because there's some spirit somewhere, I don't deserve money. In our family, nobody will become rich. No, there's no curse anywhere. Don't let anybody lie to you. Even if you think there is curse, knowledge is power. And that knowledge is greater than any spiritual force that they tell you. That's what they don't tell you. You cannot, because knowledge brings light. And even the so-called, spiritual things that they tell you, many of them, they are in darkness. That's why when the moment you bring light to any group of people, you can't trick them again. Not even demons will trick them. Because many of the people who are bringing you this, they know they are tricking you. Right? So the finances, cut it from your heart. Me business and because my bush phone cut that one. It's because I wasn't able to pray enough. I didn't pay my tithe. I didn't go to church. That's why cut that one. Man, come on, man, papa beat it. Cut that one. The reason you're failing is because of the level of knowledge that you are operating with. It is not because of anything. It is the knowledge that you're operating with. The moment you get better knowledge, do you know how many of these guys who are running billions of dollars companies around the world? Do you know the infrastructure they are using to support them? Do you know the knowledge level that they're operating with? A lot of them, some of them are even gay. You know, you are saying that there is demon somewhere. Some of them, they have married 3 times, they have divorced. They're still running business, successful business, that when they employ you, you'll be very happy. It is not any demon. It is not demon. So cut that one out. If you meet challenges, cut that one out. Accept that there is something that you don't know and deal with it. Deal with it. The moment you're able to cut those things from your head, you'll be free and you'll be able to build. So many of the difficulties, financial difficulties that we go through as a people is because of ignorance. Because everywhere that we are, they are bombarding us with comedy. Mark Brown, Unia FM, GTV, something, there be a grown from morning to evening. Agro. So there's a level of knowledge that many of our people don't get exposed to. And so what are they running their shops with? What are they running their schools with? What are they running their families with? What level of knowledge do we make decisions with? And that's why many of our people only think that unless I pray, nothing will change. But they never challenge themselves that maybe the knowledge that I'm operating with is low. That's why I'm struggling. And now they say that growth, change, improvement, progress, they're a function of knowledge. And so the level of knowledge that you operate with is responsible for your own financial success, for the business success, and for everything that's around you. Even as a country, the decisions that we have made, they have been responsible for where we are. It's not any demon. It's not any case. It's nothing like that. If we change the decisions by getting exposed to different knowledge, our lives will change. The economy will turn around if they make right decisions. Because money came to us. It's what we did with it. How we managed that. How we organized that. The decisions that we made with the resources that we have. That is why we are where we are. But when you don't accept that, so if you don't accept that and you challenge that, then don't be shocked of the results that you're operating with. Because many of the things that we see in this life, they are within our control. They are within our control. Forget about people who are just trying to tell you your birthday is this, you were born this one, you are from here, this one will happen to you, his number is yes, he's going to win those. Me, I don't buy those things. We have choice, we have will, we have decisions to make. Those who make the right decisions and choices will progress in life. Those who make wrong decisions will struggle with it in life. That's all. If you understand it that way, many of the things that happen in your life, they are within your control. Forget it. That's why if those who are trying to say that nothing is within their control, they are lazy. They are waiting for something to happen to them. God should go and work and bring them the money. That is why they struggle all the time. Those who say that I am responsible, they do well in life. So you take your destiny, you take the business, take your life in your own hands, do something, change the business. Don't just sit down and you have been programmed to think in religion and in superstition. That is why knowledge is not attractive to many of our people. Check your friends or even check yourself. From January to December, how many books have you read? What have you listened to? And what were you reading? Were you reading about Adam and Eve and how, or you were reading about technology and something that will help your business? My auntie or Pam radio. So how's she going to do well? She's going to struggle because the knowledge that is coming to her is not adding any value to what she does in life. So she's listening to preaching and something like that. That's all. But the things that will help her to expand a business, manage her finances well, she doesn't listen to any of those. So for the last 20, 30, 40 years, the same level of financial information is available to her. That's why she's not doing well. The moment you upgrade the knowledge, your life will go forward. Your life will go forward. So break that. Break the superstition. Break the superstition. You can start any business with any little money and stop the debate and the argument and the comparison. No matter what they pay you, there are a lot of people who are paid $200,000, $300,000 a month, a year, who are still struggling financially because of the choices that they make, the quality of financial information that is available to them. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much. Do you know how much money comes to Ghana? Where is the economy? It's the decisions that you make with the money that comes to you. The quality decisions. So if your decisions are right, it does not matter where you start, you can still win. So you can pick a business like that. Don't worry about, I'm going to get a loan from. You don't need that loan. If your decisions are not right, the loans, they are designed to cripple you. You will delay. Any loan that is about 5% a month, 10% a month, if you take it, you have taken asset, you will die. It will cripple you. Just a matter of time to destroy you. Because if you take a loan that is 10%, the whole year is 120%. If somebody gives you 100,000 and is taking 120,000, that is 220,000 a year. What are you going to do to get that money back to that person? So try with what you have. Build your capacity. Learn. Continue. Discipline yourself. When others are jumping and playing, you go gradually. Especially from 0 to 100 million a year kind of business, Ghana City. If you can, stay away from a lot of distractions. Discipline yourself. If you have to buy that car, make sure that you have a lot in excess before you buy that car. If you have to build that house, make sure that you have a lot in excess. You have started Indomie business. It is doing well. Don't go and buy a plot with it now. Expand the business. Maybe you're doing 100,000 a year. Can you take it to 1 million? Maybe you're doing 10,000 a year. Can you take it to 100,000? Build so much that when you take 5% from it to buy a car, you still have a business. You take 10% from it to build a house, you still have a business. These little choices that are people don't make them rightly. That is why we go through financial difficulties. And if the economy is struggling, yes, it will impact all of us. But if you make right decisions, maybe your profit will not be as you would want, but it is not that you are going to just crash. There is something that you can always do to survive if you're paying attention. So take the fear out. Pay attention to the business. Learn how to pick people and manage them to work with you. Be honest, be truthful with your finances. Budget. Always calculate how much came in today, how much is going out. Look at cash flow. Is the cash flow okay? The money that is coming in every day, the money is going out, which is going out every day, are they okay? Pay attention. Expand the business. Have a heart. Be somebody that they can trust. Because if nobody trusts you, you struggle in life. Can they trust you with money? Do your friends trust you with money? When you borrow, do you pay? When you fear, so when you fear, you don't do well in life. Because anybody who has ever helped you, you go to people. Don't go to people because of what you get. Go to people because of what you offer. Let people benefit from you. Don't just call your friend because you need help. Call your friend because you need to give value and a blessing to. Don't be somebody who is always looking for people. You took somebody's money 10 years now, you have still not paid. You have a car, your children go to school, you drive, and this 10,000 has been with you. You don't have a good heart. And that's why when you rise, you come down. You rise, you come down, because there's an impairment in your thinking. There's an impairment in your thinking. You have to raise yourself to a higher standard. Don't cheat people, don't trick people. Just be fair. It doesn't mean that people should trick you, but you work anywhere with people. You see, cutting corners and changing invoices and tricking people will sink you. Many people don't struggle financially because they are not trustworthy. Once you become trustworthy, you become modest. You make good decisions. If it's 2 cedis, 2 cedis. If it's 3 cedis, 3 cedis. If you practice this for 10 years and your life does not change, come for me. There's no way that your finances will not change if you're truthful and straight on yourself and you're fair to people. And you work hard, you plan, you budget, you treat people well. There's no way that you struggle in life. There's no way that you say that God, you will do well. You cross the millions. You don't say that, I want to go to, listen, if you go to another country and you have a job and I'm here and I'm building business, you're not close. Because why? I'm training, I'm gaining skill. A time will come, I will employ 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, 20 people. If I employ 100 people, 200 people, no matter what you do anywhere, you are not close to the one who is employed. A lot of people. And it's a skill that you build. So don't give up. Don't give up like that, and stop using negative words about ourselves and about us. No matter your reality, no matter the disappointment that you have had with people, no matter the negatives that people continue to tell you as an African, as a Kenyan, stay with the one which is positive. Because as a matter of fact, the knowledge that you have, the financial knowledge, the business knowledge, if you put them well together and you practice them, give yourself 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you will look back and you would have achieved so much beyond your imagination. So the opportunities are here, the blessings are here. We have a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties because we don't have a coherent system. They're still building it. If you give a system to the lawyers, you know what will happen. So we still have to raise a new generation of people who know how to handle money, who know how to build businesses, who know how to be trustworthy, who know how to build teams, who can forecast. We need people to think like that. And the moment you can think like that, whatever that you do, I can tell you. The other day, a young man called me, said, Ms. Obeng, I've listened to you. And now I've gone to the village. I've gone for charcoal. I'm loading them in cars and I'm bringing them to the city to sell. Or Tony Bidie, I can guarantee you, if he uses these tools, give him 5 years, the kind of businesses that he will build, the kind of investments that he will build, you'll be amazed. There's nothing like poverty in Africa. The poverty, if you want, that we have is the poverty of the mind. The quality of information that they have exposed us to, that is the problem. The opportunities are everywhere. You can go to your village. Mango. You say you are looking for capital. Go to the farm. Go and pick the mango. Come and sell them. If you won't get to 20 cities every day. The pear, you are looking for capital to start a business. The problem is the knowledge that you have. So nobody has an excuse to say that I don't have anybody to help me. No, it is the knowledge that is available to you. It is the knowledge. It is the knowledge. And if you don't understand money, any little money, you think that you have money. So somebody's paid 1,500, somewhere 5,000, somewhere he thinks he has money. The provision shop around your area, if you talk to them, you'll be shocked how much they make. The only thing is that they are not able to manage their resources well. Just as the people are giving the gold and the diamond and the lithium to others people, we the same at the personal level, we are not able to manage our resources well. That is the difficulty that we have. Managing the resources, organizing things, having data, tracking things. If you're able to do that, you will succeed. It does not matter what you do, how little it is. You can sell banana on your head as a start. If you're diligent, give yourself 6 months. If you're diligent and you're not wasteful, you will build a lot with the letter that comes to you. This one, I've seen it several times with so many people. Just because they are diligent, they are hardworking, they are not wasteful, they've been able to build things with the letter that they have. So knowledge is key. And if you don't have knowledge, go for it. Go and look for knowledge. And I'm not talking of the one that they taught you that they gave you a certificate. No. That one, unless you get government work, there's no value. Because and you have to be the one to face, the fight. Go and fight yourself with this knowledge. This knowledge makes you responsible. It doesn't make you to wait for somebody to help you. You must help yourself. And that is what we did. We didn't wait for somebody to give us help. And we'll be a you will be a so help yourself. And the government, it has to do something. How about if they don't do it in your lifetime? And God has to change my situation for me. You stay there and wait for God. Change your situation yourself. You have enough. You have given you strength. It's giving you brain, friends. You have network. What help are you waiting for again? And the money that came to you. A day Jumana share once and okay, and I did 2 CD, another 10 CD, you would ye. One kind of credit. Today you would ye. Oh, can kind of create you'll be a you would. Udino cry. Ni papa bia no yempamuno. Ni pabonefo ne pamuno. Adwuma no gu kura na nipa bonefo ono ne pam no de o ka no kura na ni ye den a wo ye adwuma ye no ye pam no tam bia nani so de owo okuta akomapa to okodanim de wo ye nyini ni na tam bia de o de be ma ne bia nani so na wo de kakra bia ma no fa akiri no wa wie bi no ye hu wa bon se ne apam so what I say. So you don't need to become a thief, and you have to be very grateful for life. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today we are talking about knowledge. Knowledge for business and financial security. We are saying that without the right kind of education, which is constructive training for people, without that, you will not be able to, separate quality information, and the quality information that stays with you becomes your knowledge. And once you keep practicing that knowledge, it becomes that which stays with you, your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, your insight. And that is what you operate your life with. So everybody, the difference between men is what they know. You are nothing but the mind that you have. The information that you carry is different from the other person. That is why somebody is winning and somebody else is losing, because of the knowledge. And we as Africans, we don't have a lot of infrastructure that support us. And so you study what works here. Warren Buffett and all those examples that you have been reading, you're still struggling with your business. Why? Because the culture that they built those things from is not here. So when you're building, understand how things are done here and go gradually like that. So without knowledge, you will perish. So when you see a lot of people perishing, anywhere that people are perishing, it is not the devil, it's the knowledge. Because the knowledge you possess will let you stop the devil if you so believe that it's the devil. And you can't do better until you know better. These are philosophies that you have to embrace. Great change comes from people who have the knowledge. You need knowledge to build structures and systems. That is how you do well. In Africa, they have sidelined knowledge somewhere, and they have replaced it with religion and religious beliefs and prayer. So you have a whole generation, all that they talk about is prayer. But the prayer must be built on the right knowledge. And once you have the knowledge, you may not even need any prayer to change anything. Because then you will get up and go and do the work yourself. Instead of you waiting for God to come and change it for you. You have to go and change it yourself. So people operate with the knowledge that they are exposed to. People operate with the knowledge that they are exposed to. And so sometimes when you're talking to people and you see the knowledge, are you reading? Are you searching? You say you have a degree. How many books are you reading? Those people are so difficult to talk to. They only take book for exam. They don't read for life. And that's why they struggle. That's why they struggle with their finances. They struggle with their business. They struggle with their job. They struggle with their family. Everything they struggle with. Because you must know that you need knowledge. That's why they sent you to school, so that you can look for knowledge. Search. Look for knowledge. The two, if you can read, use that to go and search for that which you need. You can't win in a business you don't know. It's difficult. You cannot win in finances if you don't know anything about finances. You can't win anything that you're ignorant about. How can you produce bread when you don't know anything about bakery? And somebody knows bakery. They spend their time to acquire that knowledge. You see? Yes. Odesheba is making sour ginger bread. Why? Because there's knowledge. Me, I can't make bread. I don't know it. So Odesheba knows that knowledge. I don't have it. He didn't gain it by prayer. He studied it. So you want everything to change. But your ignorance, you don't want it to change. So you can't do much. That's why the foreigners would take our resources, because they know we are ignorant. You know it. You know. They know. If you're an African, try to talk to any white man and try to teach them anything. They have told them that we are ignorant. And it's not because they are not ignorant. They are ignorant as well. So you can't have financial freedom if you don't have a proper financial education. You can't have financial freedom. Don't entertain yourself. You cannot have financial freedom if you don't have the right financial education, the right financial intelligence. The money that comes to you, destroy it because you don't have the right knowledge. Many struggle in life. Our struggle will come. Struggles come from our ignorance. And ignorance is the stage of learning. The only thing is that many people stay in their ignorance all their lives. That's why they struggle all their lives. That's why we struggle. So the moment you continue to challenge yourself, your life will move on. It's not, I just come here to listen. No, for me, if you come here and listen, I really don't worry about you practicing it. No, I know that you go and practice it. If you come here with a good heart, you will go and practice it. Why? Because it is power. It is power. I don't really Where somebody said that, oh, make sure that the book that you are sharing, they'll read it. I said, listen, even if they look at the back, it's okay for me. If they get to know that how to develop the mindset and start and build your business, that alone, you have planted a seed in them. They shift your mind forever. It has shifted their mind forever. That child, 5 years down the line, they will go and pick another book and read. Expose people to knowledge. Don't worry about, just send the video to them. Even if they are fighting you, send it to them. They will watch one. There, you have broken something in their mind. Leave them. Don't worry about people. No, I really don't. I mean, I don't worry about whether you are going to apply it or not. No, you apply it. I tell you, you apply it. Why? Because it's conditioning. It is conditioning. It is conditioning. The human mind is a computer. It's a program. They call something pathways. It's just like grooves on the mind. If they are treating addiction, they use those things. So the moment you create something on people in their mind, you have created a path. Anytime that there's water there to channel that. So that's why I speak to people. Expose them. If those who debate, expose them. It's a way that they start to understand things. You shift something because somebody has conditioned us not to do well. And that's why many of our people continue to struggle. Continue to struggle. And the moment you read just 1, 2, 3 financial books and you start to organize your finances, you will do well forever. You don't need to struggle financially all your life. It's a lie. It's a lie. You may not buy Land Cruiser, but you can have freedom financially. With what comes to you and the decisions that you make with it, so that you don't have to wake up tomorrow and think about the school fees or the paracetamol that you have to buy. You can build it. It's information. You don't need to struggle with your business and becomes a pain. No. The business that you're building, yes, there are difficulties, but they do not have to make you not to sleep. Because of the information. So once you have knowledge, you can interpret people's character. So that nothing people do will shock you again. You need knowledge so that you don't give up. If you don't have the right knowledge, you give up. You despair. You frustrate. You become sad. You become weakened. Knowledge is power. So without proper, anywhere that you see people struggle, check the knowledge again. Now they say that knowledge as an Africans, we have challenge. The world has been run over the last 500 or 600 years and put us in a place where they think that we are nothing. And we have accepted that from our top to our bottom. They use all kind of confusion systems on us. But really what works here is entirely different from what works in the West. And so if you're a leader, if you're doing anything here and you don't study here, you can be an African. I still don't know Africa and that don't understand Africa. And I can see that many of our people who are complaining, blaming, and very negative towards Africa and Ghana, particularly, check. They are ignorant of themselves and of their own people and of their own culture. And they think that what they stick there, they can come and teach us the same thing. No, you cannot teach us the same thing because the infrastructure, they are different. They're different. The infrastructure, they are different. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Thank you very much for taking your time to go build the business, Go build the business, Start something. Don't stay at home and cry. Build something and don't be shy. That is your beginning. It's a good seed. You will not lose. You will win. The opportunities are enormous in our country. The only thing is that you've been primed. Your mind has been conditioned wrongly. And so you're looking up to the government. You think that there is a demon somewhere. That is why you're not doing well. You're waiting for the grace of God to change your finances for you because that's what the people who teach you continue to tell you. So in our country, they're super religious. Everything is the grace. Even those who are doing science and math quiz, they ask them, how did you pass? The grace of God? How about those who didn't win? But when you go to religion, it becomes difficult. You are doing science. You study, you will pass. If you don't study, you will not pass. If you win, how about those who failed? What failed them? Is that the grace? No. It's just a competition. You win, somebody loses. That's all. But in our country, we just have to find a way. Maybe we should start to talk like that. But if you really want to build something, The people who are building, there's a way they talk, there's a way they think. That's what they are building. And so long as our people continue to think and use these ways, we cannot build. That is why we are not building. That's why we are not producing as we want. Because we don't want to take responsibility for anything. We think that is magic. We think that is a miracle. We think that is a luck. We think that is something somewhere. Meanwhile, those who are producing, the China that we go to every day, they are working. They are at the lab. They are at the factory. They are challenging. They are questioning, because that is how God made it. Question everything. Come out with a better way of doing it constantly. Change the method. Change the approach. Work. Seed time. Harvest. But we know. The one that we are responsible, we still want to say that it's not us. That's why we are not producing. That's why we are not the ones producing the telephone, the computer, because they train us to think in a particular way. And so long as we are thinking in this particular way, we will not be the ones producing the cars. We will not be the ones, all this technologically advanced equipment, we will not be the ones producing them, because there's a way you must think to produce this. So the big businesses that the foreigners are building, there's a way they think. That's why they're able to build the infrastructure that run these businesses. So long as we want to think this small, and we are not responsible for anything, just by prayer and fasting, the people who are building, they are building structures, they are thinking. Just like the guy who produced the hand for that small child. They produce. Even if you have inspiration, you still have to have the methods, the models to produce that product. You still have to have the technology. You still have to have the skill set to produce that. You still have to have the materials to produce that. So shift the way you talk. It's disheartening, the way we use words. That's why there's a way. You see, there are consumers and there are producers. There's a way consumers think. And there's a way producers think. When you go to buy that watch, those who produce that watch, there's a way they think. And who are there's a way you think. You're not thinking the same. There's a way. So the way we think we are humble and we are, no. But that is why we are not producing. That's why the lithium, you have given it to somebody. Those people, they are promoting it. But they have the machines. They have the equipment. They have the infrastructure. They have the law. They have trickers. We are producing lawyers. They couldn't preserve this. They have trickers. They will continue. All the things that we will find, you see, they will come and, because the thing is that they have taught them in a particular way. To just give everything you have to us. We will come and develop it for you. We need to change that. Because we are waiting for God. As a matter of fact, God is waiting for us. So if you're a young man, think differently. Take responsibility. Even if it's one city that is left in your pocket, one city car, fight. Don't be sad. What your business when you're 50,000, you don't now be back to you. Employees here be 1,000. Choices and decisions. We made a choice. We also made a choice. We made a choice. So make a choice. Be responsible. Think far. Think the next 20, 30 years. Invest in something. Invest for your financial freedom. Everything that you do, there's a freedom in it if you have the right knowledge. If it's frustrating you, if there are a lot of constrictions, it means that there is knowledge that you don't know. Go and fish for that, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we are blessed people. We come from the greatest continent on earth. They didn't tell you that. That's why everybody says Africa. But listen, this is where the wealth is. They know it. Take Africa out. All the companies that they are talking, their wealth will go to zero. That's why the wealth infrastructure that they have built, they have cut us out. It's deliberate. Because for them, if you become wealthy, it's a competition for them. And we must know this and study. Education, they will continue to make you mate. You will not fight them. You will not challenge them. Business, finance is where we need to challenge them. And we have to re-educate ourselves. So if you don't have a job, you are not unyamable. Start to do something. Start to do something and be proud of it. Bibia betoni bia. When I catch you, I won't even Tony Kose. Okay, say, me now go school to Tony Kose. That's your problem. Go and talk to her every day how much he makes. What 1 hour did that? When I catch you, who told you that what job and won't mean start to be? That's because you have a degree. Who told you? Start one. Start one. You can start. If nothing at all, look at food. Look at trading and be proud of it. Don't worry about going to register and logo. Don't just serve the people that will come. Out of that, you will be able to organize. You know? So I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to watch us. Knowledge, business. The wealth is in business, it's in finance, and it's in the financial education that you carry. That is where the real competition is. You see, when the Israeli people started fight, they sent $60 billion to them. Ghana was looking for $3 billion. They told us not to even employ people. The whole economy came to halt because they don't follow us. But the people still don't get it. Just $3 billion. Those institutions were set so that our people will not grow, will not develop. Can't you see it? Those institutions were set so that we will not develop. And you run to the same institutions and you wonder why you are not developing. Because their main purpose is to prevent you from becoming great. So why do you run to them? We need to raise a whole new generation of Africans who see their enemies and who see their friends. You know, because some people have decided that Africans should never prosper and develop on their own. And we can debate this, but it can take another 100 years if you don't fight back and be truly independent. And so when you build and I build, and everybody is building, we will liberate ourselves. Attack the education. They are teaching them English and maths. That's okay. But that is not going to, we need to produce a young men who are creating, building. We need to. So study, learn. My name is OBENG DARKO. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have not sponsored any of our books, please sponsor some.